Successful manifestation, a formula for victory. And what I'm sharing with you in this video is a Neville Goddard lecture. It's a life-changing one. I read this and I was like, I want to share this with you. There's so much meaning in it. There's so much power in it. And the fact is, the chapter here from Neville Goddard is called A Formula for Victory. I'm going to read the two first lines here. Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that have I given unto you. This is Joshua 1:3. So, what Neville Goddard is teaching in this chapter, what he is referring to is the story about Joshua capturing the city of Jericho. I don't know how to say that. But this story is actually pretty amazing, and it's powerful, and it makes so much sense. I've read it before, and I was reading it again, and I was looking at it from new perspective because I am at a different place than the last time that I read it. So what I'm going to do for you in this video is that I want to share my notes with you, and I'm going to read a couple of the lines from what Neville Goddard wrote. And then I took notes, so I'll give the different meanings. I'm going to share that with you. So hopefully you will, wherever you are right now, wherever you are, you want to manifest better things into your life. You have desires, whether it's wealth, whether it's health, whether it's love, whether it's physical stuff. You have desires, things that you want to manifest into your life. And that's exactly what I'm going to share with you from the teachings of Neville Goddard. And Neville Goddard, from this chapter, he actually wrote a formula for victory. It's kind of the bullets from this chapter. So I'm going to share with you my ideas around that formula also. So, are you ready for this? This is powerful stuff. And what I also learned before diving into it, I'm going to just take one more side road here. But what I also learned again is that Neville Goddard constantly speaks about the meaning of the Bible if you interpret it in a psychological way. So there's a lot of stories that Neville Goddard uses from the Bible, from those teachings, and use them as story how a person psychologically can use all of those stories to actually manifest the person's desires. So let's look into it here. First of all, this story is about Joshua capturing the city of Jericho. I hope I'm saying it correctly. And the thing is, let me just find some of my notes here. The thing is that, again, the first thing I said was that every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that have I given unto you. And here Neville Goddard writes, it is recorded that Joshua was armed only with the knowledge that every place that the sole of his foot should tread upon would be given to him. So the thing is, and I spoke about this before, this is so much about just knowing that it shall be given to you. Whatever it is that you want, that's the thing, it shall be given to you. So the next thing here is that he desires to capture or tread upon the city of Jericho, but found the wall separating him where he are and then the city of Jericho was impassable. It seemed physically impossible for Joshua to get beyond these massive walls and stand upon the city of Jericho. It seemed impossible. Now, maybe you've experienced something in your life where you are right now. Remember Joshua, it's where he is now, and he has his desire is the city, and then there's the walls, makes it physically seeming impossible. Maybe you have experienced or are experiencing in your life, it seems impossible to get your desires. So in our manifestation masterclass, I'm speaking about the wall. And I was actually thinking about this when I read this. It's the same thing. It's those walls between where you are right now or where you want to be or go. So the next thing here is, yet he was driven by the knowledge of the promise that, regardless of the barriers and obstacles separating him from his desires, if he could but stand upon the city, it would be given to him. Wow. Wow. Because what does this mean? And I'm going to share my symbols later on here in a couple of minutes. But this actually means that, again, he was driven by the knowledge of the promise that regardless of any wall, any barrier, any obstacle separating from him from where he are and his desires, if he could just stand his foot upon the city, it would be given to him. So, what does this mean? As I see it, this is about you are here right now. You want to go here. But if you can have the faith, the knowledge, the knowing that whatever you desire will be given to you when you stand upon it, when you put your being into it, when you get in that state, whatever it is that you desire. This is so powerful because that's the spirit, that's the consciousness that Joshua was in. Let's move on. The book of Joshua further records that instead of fighting this giant problem of the wall, so instead of you fighting the problem of the barrier or the obstacle, my hand is just going with the flow here, Joshua employed the services of the harlot Rahab and sent her as a spy into the city. As Rahab entered her house, which stood in the midst of the city, Joshua, who was securely buried by the impassable walls of Jericho, blew on his trumpet 7 times. At the 7th blast, the walls crumbled, and Joshua entered the city victoriously. It's a beautiful story. And it goes on here. To the uninitiated, this story is senseless. To the one who sees it as a psychological drama, rather than as a historical record, it is most revealing. If we would follow the example of Joshua, our victory would be similar, simple. Wow, that's what just got me yesterday, and I really enjoy sharing this with you, and I hope you enjoy being with me here right now, because Joshua symbolizes to you, the reader, your present state. And I'm going to take the book away and I'm going to look at my notes here, because I just took notes for this video here. I took the readings from Neville Goddard, and then I took the symbols he is sharing from this story. So Joshua is your present state. Joshua is your present state from this story. The next thing is Jericho, the city Jericho. That's your desired objective. So you got a desire, and in this story, that's Jericho. Desire, objective, right? You are Joshua, and then your desires here. The walls in the city of Jericho, obstacles between you where you are right now, and then your desire. Obstacles between you and your desires. The next one, it's so beautiful. The foot, your foot equals understanding. The foot equals understanding. And it gets even better here. So placing your foot, like Joshua knows, he knows when he places his foot on something, when he places understanding of something, he knows it's his. Placing the foot is like fixing a definite psychological state. Neville Goddard speaks about this all the time, and I've shared in other videos, the I am state, being in the consciousness that you are everything in your reality. Your consciousness is the only thing that is. So what he's actually saying is that your foot is the understanding. So when you place your foot in the desire, you understand your desire. Placing the foot is fixing a definite psychological state. So when you place your foot, when you understand, when you are in the psychological state of that which is your desire, wow, that's placing your foot. Rahab, that woman, equals infinite capacity to psychologically assume any state without questions. Wow. So this means that if you can go, this is the whole thing, and I've seen this again and again and again in the teachings, in the lectures of Neville Goddard, so much about you. If you are here now, you want to go here, but being here, you got issues here, you got things in your life that you don't prefer here. You got things, maybe you got lag in your life, maybe you got, your health is not as good as you wanted. You're here. And the whole thing, like it says here with the Rahab, is the woman, is that you got the infinite capacity to psychologically assume any state without questions. And he also says here, and neither questions about psychologically or morally, because he speaks so much, Neville Goddard, about it's not, your consciousness doesn't know things about right or wrong. So if you're here right now and things are happening in your reality that you don't like, your consciousness don't know about that. Your consciousness don't know about that. But if your mind, if your state is focused on the things, like, why do I always have those bills? Why don't I have a lot of money? Why am I not driving in a great car? If that's what your consciousness is fixed, that's what your reality will be. So this story and the symbols, Neville Goddard says, is we as human beings have the possibility to understand that we got a desire, and by stepping into, understanding that we can step into a psychological state of that desire, meaning we really feel and be it. You are what your desire is. You can live in that energy, with that consciousness. And when that happens, when your consciousness know this is your desire, not only that, but this is like your reality already now, law of assumption, you assume it's like this, but not only assume it, I think it's even more powerful, because your consciousness is kind of like, I say this again and again too, but you put the seed in the ground, or the seed in the womb, and from there, nature takes care of the rest. When your consciousness accept that desire as this is you right now, nature will take care of the rest, according to Neville Goddard. So I hope this makes sense, or else watch the video again, because this is really powerful stuff. And I look forward to sharing this with you, and I hope you also enjoyed listening to it. And again, maybe come back in a week or a month or something and listen to it again, or read the lectures from Neville Goddard. And because you will be in a new state, you will learn something. You can begin practice, you can begin work with this, and play with this, and we will grow, we will evolve, and we will learn new things. So Neville Goddard put all of this into a formula of victory about manifesting. So what I thought about doing is that I will actually create a document and maybe even a training about this formula of victory, and I will make that available in our manifestation masterclass. So if you want this, I'll make sure there's a link below for the masterclass, and the masterclass is free. So there's nothing there. You can just check out the link and you're welcome to join us, and I will make sure that this formula victory will be in a document in our manifestation masterclass. So I am wishing for you all the best. And also think about this story here to step into. And when you step into, having the knowledge that it's already yours. Lots of love.